Today we are looking at this really nice and small compact dash camera. It is tiny. On the camera's body there is the on and off button, micro USB card slot. On the bottom there are 3 additional buttons to adjust more settings. The screen is about 1 inch. On the right hand side there is the USB-C port for power, a reset button. On the top is how you'll dock it into the mount. Here is the mount to dock the camera on. That way you can pop the camera in and out of the car as needed. Like so. Additionally, inside the box there are more stickers, just in case you mess up with the first one. A short USB-C cable, a super long USB-C cable that is attached to the cigarette adapter, and USB-A for maybe charging your phone. I wish this was separated and not permanently connected like that to the cigarette adapter, but it is what it is. A small tool to pop the trims to hide the cable. 3 of these are for managing cable underneath the car, for instance. 2 mounting stickers. If you don't want to mount camera directly onto the windshield, then you can mount the sticker onto the glass first. And mount this onto the sticker. 2 stickers to warn people that you have a dash cam. I don't know why you would want to do that, but this is an option. Microfiber to clean the lens or the display. There is also one very thick manual that includes a bunch of languages, from English to Spanish to Poland to Japanese and some others. It's very interesting. Such a small camera provides a Wi-Fi access point, so you can download footages using the app. I did not know until I browsed through the manual. Most of the time though, I pop the micro SD card out and plug that in my laptop or desktop to look at the videos. Additionally, you can connect the dash cam directly to the laptop using the included USB-C cable. The dash cam will show up as a flash drive for you to pull videos out. Personally, I prefer using the laptop with the cable because it is much faster than over Wi-Fi. To give you an idea of how small it is, here is a $50 bill. So yeah, this thing is tiny. And here it is compared to a regular dash camera. This is the Viofo A229 Pro from the previous video. Yeah, this Vantrue unit is crazy tiny. By the way, if this video is helpful, please consider subscribing and liking the video. This lets YouTube know my video is indeed helpful and will recommend to others like yourself. Let's set it up using the USB power bank and the short USB-C power cable included. Power the unit up to see and verify that everything is working fine before we actually install the camera in the car. Plug the USB-C in here and the USB-A into this Anchor power bank. When you first power on, it will ask you to select the language. I don't know why French is the first option highlighted. You usually have 3 options on screen. They correspond to the 3 buttons on the bottom of the camera. I'm not going to confirm French as the language. I'm going to choose the next option. Press the middle button to go to the next option. Now that English is selected, click on the left button side to choose OK. Let's select the time zone. We need to go down. Going up is not available. Press the middle button until I get back to the top because we're going back to the negative side, which is New York. -5 is selected, which is my time zone in New York. I'm going to click on OK. Click on the left button. Date format will be month, day, and year. Click on OK. change the dates as needed, and then change the time. I'm going to click on OK on all of it, just because they are all correct. I don't know how it's correct out of the box, but it is correct. Frequency. We are in the United States, so it's going to be 60 Hertz. The speed units will be miles per hour. Format micro SD card. All data will be deleted. Okay, it is now formatting. Format successful. That's good. Click on OK. If you want to go back into the menu on the bottom right hand side, press this button. It won't let you enter the menu until you stop the recording mode. So let's stop recording by pressing on the bottom left hand side, all the way on the left hand side. Alright, the recording button is no longer blinking. Let's go into the menu to see what's there. Record setup, system setup, files, password setup. We're now back to the system setup. Let's go into files to see what's going on there. Click on OK. Event video, normal video, photo, all files, and then back to event video. Let's click on OK to see what's going on there. No files. Back to previous options. Go down to normal video, click on OK. And that's the video that was recorded recently. Click on OK. Click on the left button to start playing. OK. So it's playing, and I hear audio as well. Audio is not loud just because the speaker is super tiny. There's no option to adjust the volume. Let's click on the back button to go back. Back again. Back again. Back again. Record setup. Click on OK. Resolution. Let's click on it. Here are all the options, and they are 1080p, 30 frames per second, HDR, or normal 1080p. Both are 30 frames per second. The other options are 720p, with or without HDR, and that's it. There is no 60 frames per second option, it's all 30 frames per second. Even if you change the resolution. Go back. Let's go down and choose loop recording. Click on OK. It records every 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes before starting a new file. I'm going to choose the default, which is 1 minute. Let's go back. HDR timer. That's interesting. Let's click on OK. I'm going to select HDR timer as defaults. Very nice that there is a G sensor and a bunch of other stuff. G sensor is for detecting shocks, such as going over speed bumps or other cars bumping into you. Click OK to see what's going on there. Front and rear, left and right, up and down. Select front and rear to see what's going on. Very interesting that there are a bunch of these numbers, but I have no idea what they are. Let's go down to audio recording. We know that audio recording is on because we saw the file with audio recording. Let's go down to exposure. Click on OK. I'm going to leave it at default, which is 00. Recording status lights. You can turn on or off. That's pretty interesting that you have that option. Auto rotate display. Let's click on OK to see what the options are. Is off or on? I guess you can rotate the display like this or this. Very useful whenever you play with the settings, I guess, but I'm going to leave it as off. Number plates, let's check that out. Click on OK. Okay, I don't know why you would want to edit your car's license plates in here, but I guess that is adoption. Let's go back. Stamp. Okay. Here are all your available overlays, I believe. I'm going to go back. Time-lapse. Parking mode. Click on OK. Click on that. Interesting that parking mode is available. Obviously, you definitely need a parking mode adapter as seen in the previous Viofo video. I have no idea if parking adapters can be mixed and matched with other brands. Solution detection pre-recording. Collision detection. GPS settings. Let's click on GPS to see what is going on there. GPS is on by default. Speed units is miles per hour. GPS information. There is no GPS information. Most likely, I have to dock the camera to the docking bracket mount. One of the reasons why I got this small dash camera is because I drive multiple cars per day. I don't own any of the cars because they are fleet and rentals when I travel around the country. For some reason, the big boss does not want us to install dash cams in any the company car. There's no way I'm driving without a dash camera in this day and age, just because people are lousy drivers. Everyone is playing on their phones while driving, and nobody cares about obeying the laws in Philly. One of the options was getting this universal mount. This uses suction and sticks onto any windshield. It works very well with the Viofo camera. There are various adapters that you can mount cameras from other popular brands too. Sadly, none of the adapters work with this Vantrue mount. That's okay, we're going to create one using a binder clip. Here's a largest binder clip that I could find in the office. On this side, I added some 3M VHB tape just to flatten this out. On the other side, no need to do anything. We're going to peel the tape out and mount the camera directly on the clip. Like this. It's hard to do one hand. The end result will be clipping this onto the car's sun visor, so it's instant on and instant off. Let's go into the car and see what it looks like in real life. We are in a Chevy Equinox EV. Here is the visor. Let's flip it all the way forward so it doesn't cover much of view. I have no idea if this will work or not, but we got the units all set up like so. Open up the binder clip and clamp it in. Wow, it actually works. Sometimes I have crazy ideas in my head, and it's nice to know they work out. Adjust the angle as needed so it's not looking up or down. The dash camera now facing forward. Awesome. Don't forget to peel off the sticker that's protecting the lens. I just realized you add more filters if you want. Apparently, this ring has threads on it. You can add polarizing or a CPL filter. This works out a lot better than I thought it would. If you want GPS data, plug the USB-C cable into the base of the mount. If you do not want GPS data, then plug it into the camera directly here. Running the wire is relatively simple. Just go up, over to the left, down a little bit into the weather rubber strip right there. You can see I started already. Some left for me to hide, going all the way down. Once you are done with the rental or temporary car or whatever, just yank the cable out and it will come out easily like so. This is hard to do because I am sitting at a weird angle to make this video. I am just going to yank whole binder clip out, and now I am done with the rental car. Let's do one simple comparison between this Vantrue and the Viofo. I don't want to do a deep dive just because I know the Vantrue will fail spectacularly compared to the Viofo. The Vantrue's sensor is smaller, hence the image will be worse. The only advantage the Vantrue has is size, portability, being able to quickly install it on any car and take it out once done. Alright, hopefully you found this video helpful. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and thanks for watching.